question 3a, they say write down the centre and the radius length in terms of k. So if you've x squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 4y plus k is equal to 0, it's in the format of x squared plus y squared plus 2g of x plus 2f of y plus c is equal to 0. I can see there that 2g is minus 10. I can see that 2f is minus 4, and I can see that c is the same as k in this equation. Which means if 2g is minus 10, then g is minus 5. And if 2f is minus 4, then f is minus 2. And my centre is minus g minus f, which makes it 5, 2. And then the radius length is just the square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. So that's the square root of 25 plus 4, that's 29 minus the k. And that's the same as the radius. Then in part B, they said the midpoint of a chord of C is 4, 1. So if you have your circle, you have your centre is 5, 2. Sorry. That's the radius in terms of k. And they tell me that I have a chord on it. And the midpoint of the chord is 4, 1. And the length of it is 4 root 2. The length of the full chord is 4 root 2. So they want me to find the radius length of C. Well, if I look here, I could probably get that length there by using the distance formula. So that's the square root of x2 minus x1 to be squared plus y2 minus y1 to be squared. And when you work that out, you end up with 1 plus 1, that's root 2. So we know that that's the length of root 2. I have the radius here is what I'm looking for. And so I know also that the length of this is 2 root 2. So if I use Pythagoras theorem, r squared is equal to root 2 squared plus 2 root 2 to be squared. That's r squared is equal to 2 plus 2 root 2 squared. You can throw that into your calculator, you'll end up with 8. R squared is equal to 10, or is equal to root 10. So I didn't even need to use the earlier part. Then they want me to find the slopes of the tangents to C from the point 2 minus 1. Now, so that means that 2 minus 1 could, be away from my circle and looking for the tangents. So I know that I have y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1, that I actually can fill in at least some of that, in that they told me the point minus 2, 1 is on it. So that's y minus y1 is equal to m bracket x minus x1. Y minus 1 is equal to mx plus 2m. Now, I know that I have one thing missing there, so that's not too bad. What do I know here? I now know that the length of my radius is root 10, that the tangent is touching there, or wherever, I'm just sketching it on my diagram. But I notice that I do know the perpendicular distance from that point, which I know, to that line, which I know the most of, is root 10. So I'm going to use the perpendicular distance formula here. I can use the perpendicular distance formula when it's in the equation is in the format of ax plus by plus c. That's in my log table. So I need to move this around. and I end up with mx minus y plus 2m plus 1 is equal to 0. That's A, minus 1 is B, and that's whatever is left, C. So filling in the perpendicular distance, it is A times, and it's the perpendicular distance from my centre point, so that's the 5, minus 1 times 2 plus C all over the square root of A squared plus B squared. And the answer to that is root 10. And I just need to clean this up. That's 5m minus 2 plus 2m plus 1 all over the square root of m squared plus 1 is equal to root 10. I can square both sides if I want to. In order to get rid of the roots and this. So I might just clean this up a little bit further. So that's 7m minus 1 all over the square root of m squared plus 1 is equal to root 10. And then if I square both sides, on the top I end up with 49m squared minus 14m plus 1. And on the bottom I just square it out and I end up with m squared plus 1 because I'll have the square root of m squared plus 1 to be squared is equal to 10. So that's 49m squared minus 14m plus 1 is equal to, I'm going to bring this over, it becomes multiply 10m squared plus 10. And so I end up with 39m squared minus 14m minus 9 equals 0 when I clean that up. Factors of, so we have 39 times 9, 351 that subtract to give me 14, 27 and 13. Okay, so that's 27m and 13m. 39m squared minus 9. Now you might do this slightly differently, just this part here. So we know that 13 is in common and m is in common. We're left with 3m minus 2 plus 1 is in common. Something's going on here. No, 13 is not in common there. That's the problem. Sorry. Just couldn't see that. So what do we have in common? We have 3m in common. And we have 13m minus 9 plus 1 is in common. 13m minus 9. Sorry. And we have 13m minus 9 in one bracket and 3m plus 1 in the other. And you end up with m is equal to minus 1/3 and m is equal to 9 over 13. And that's what they asked for. They asked for the slopes of the two tangents to the circle. Yeah, that's the end of that question.